What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of R&R. As always, I'm Logan.
I'm Ethan, and today we're going to kind of go over the philosophy and the use cases behind an SPR. So just to kind of get into it, this is an SPR. It's got an 18-inch barrel. It's an accuratized gun. But before we get into too much about actually everything that we're going to be talking about, let's go ahead and talk about a few sponsors. Starting out with Bulkhead. If you're a caffeine drinker like we are and you want something with no dyes, no artificial colors, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial flavors, owned by veterans, 300 milligrams of caffeine, swing on over to bulkheadenergy.com, order yourself a case, use the code RR10 at checkout, get 10% off your entire purchase. Great company. It's worth supporting them.
Nootropics as well.
Yeah, Nootropics.
I will say, just kind of interrupt you for a second. I will say, I think I'm like immune to caffeine for the most part. I mean, honestly, because we drink them an excessive amount. But the nootropics in it might be just a mind thing or just like a placebo effect.
Yeah.
But like if I wake up and I am groggy and got brain fog and I drink one of these, I'm like
wired.
I'm like the Asian comes out in me.
Sharp.
Just super tacky.
Kind of like taking some Adderall.
Yeah.
If you're watching this channel, it means you're probably a gun guy or a gun girl. So what that means is you're going to have to clean your guns, you're going to have to lube them. You're going to do it anyways. So swing on over to Modern Spartan Systems, use the code RR10 at checkout, get yourself some gun oil, some carbon cutter, some of their grease, some of their lens cleaners, whatever it may be, one of their suppressor kits. No matter what you buy off the website, RR10 gets 10% off the entire purchase.
Yep. They are our newest sponsor, so shout out to them.
Shout out to Marcus.
So
Modern Spartan Systems, go ahead and swing over there, get yourself some gun cleaning product.
And after you clean your gun, just so you know you got that audible ting, swing over to Challenge Targets, get yourself some of the top dog steel targets in the game.
Best in the industry.
Best in the industry. Use code R10 at checkout to get you 10% off your entire order. Not just certain things, it's off your entire order. A couple other ones that we want to, give a shout out to make this, this channel and these videos possible is Olight. Especially for them signing over a PLX. Go ahead and click that link down in the description. Use the code that is provided in the description. Get you 10% off of the new PLX.
Yeah, Xegis Safe.
Xegis Safe. Once again, down in the description, go ahead and click that link. Use that code that is provided. Get you 20% off of your order of a Xegis Safe.
Yep.
And then also squirrel. And then also Wuben Flashlights. Go ahead and click that link down in the description if you need yourself, or if you find yourself needing a very good, budget-friendly, everyday carry light. Yep. Family members have them, like them.
He really likes it.
Yeah, Dad loves his light. He's pulling that bad boy out for everything, even when you don't need to. He's I got you. Pulls it out and stuff.
Dad's daylight out.
Yeah. Those links down there, if anything interests you, it really helps us out, helps the channel, and it lets those companies know that you found our video and that we sent you.
Yep.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this bad boy.
Yeah, we'll get into the video. So in the early on in the global war on terror, I believe it was the Navy SEALs, they wanted to accuratize the M4 rifle and kind of be able to push it to its limits. So
push it to the limit.
What they were finding is that over in Afghanistan, we were engaging at further distances than what your Mark 18s and M4s could really push out to reliably. So they were on the search for finding something with an 18-inch barrel that could get the full potential out of that round, but keeping it to where it was lightweight enough to carry through the mountains and being able to use the same magazines as the guy standing next to you. So if you were getting black on ammo, be like, hey man, give me a mag, you can throw it in there, still use it, still engage. So that's the military case point for this, and it was used quite widely. It still is being used. There's also the Recce build, which is pretty much an accuratized M4, but it's got a 14.5-inch barrel, so it doesn't quite have the velocity gains that this has. So that's what this rifle is kind of based off of. I call it an SPR. It's my version of an SPR. I took what I wanted and threw it on this gun.
I don't know if you said it or not, but what is an SPR?
Special purpose rifle. So, SPR, special purpose rifle. Probably should put that in the description at the beginning, let people know, so don't sound like
it has a special purpose.
Yeah, has a special place in my heart. It has a special purpose in real life. But yeah, and so let's go over this as far as like a civilian use case. Be a great hunting rifle for groundhogs, regular
Coyote,
hogs,
I mean,
coyotes, whatever it may be.
and if you have, if you're not in a state like Ohio where you can't use a neck down, you have to use straight wall cartridge. Obviously, Ohio's not the place for it, but this would also be a good deer rifle.
Yeah, as long as you use 5.56 or 2.23 in your
in your state, and check your local laws and regulations and everything else when it comes to hunting. But anyway, go ahead.
Little legal disclaimer.
Yeah. We are not legal advice.
So this kind of falls into like an arsenal or to a kit setup, whatever it may be. If SHTF, WRL, whatever it may be, if that were to happen, this would give you the ability, if you're in a team, a squad, whatever size unit it might be, it would give you the ability to have an M4 AR-15 that can push out to a further distance. And the theory behind it is most of your AKs and M4s or AR-15s in the civilian world, maximum range with like a 1x scope on a human-sized target that's standing up and standing still is about 300 meters. I know it's going to piss off all my Marines out there. You guys are shooting, 5 foot wide by 10 foot tall targets at 500 meters with iron sights and making it out like it's a big deal. But if you're got a half size human poking out at 500 meters, you're not hitting jack with iron sights unless you're like a really good shot. So
like every Marine.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am. To start.
We're just kidding, guys. I'm a vet too. I got to give the Marines a little bit of crap. So what this does is it gives you the ability to, if something were to happen, if shit were to hit the fan, whatever it may be, you could engage targets at a further distance than the likelihood is that they could be able to engage you. So it would keep the fight in your benefit, and it would also be a combat multiplier. So also say you're running around in a squad setup, this would be able to provide overwatch if you needed to, be able to get PID at a further distance because it's got a higher magnification scope, whatever it may be. But you can also still use it in CQB if you have to. And once again, going back to the Marines, you can sit here and say, oh, that long musket, like you're not gonna be able to do CQB with it. I've seen Marines do CQB with a 20-inch M16 all day, and you just got to train around it. Got to learn how to use it.
If you're just not that good, just say it.
But it's definitely doable. It's not optimal, but it's definitely doable. But it gives you a very good kind of mix of everything.
Like a jack of all kind of. Yeah,
jack of all, maybe master of one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to go over it, this rifle is a Noveski build, is what I consider it. I built this rifle. It's got all the components on it that I wanted. Not the scope. I would like to change out the scope, but the scope still works for what it is. But it's a Black Rain Ordnance lower with a Geisley super semi-automatic enhanced trigger, which is in my book the best long-range trigger. Trigger for accuracy out of an AR-15. It's super super nice. It's got Magpul grip on it. I think it's the MOE grip. I'm not 100% positive. It's got a Voltor Mur Mod 1 upper with a Noveski bolt carrier group. The buffer spring system in it, I believe, is a JP Enterprise silent captured buffer spring. I believe. I could be wrong. I've got them in a few different builds. It's got the Magpul UBR stock, the original Gen 1 version, not the newer lightweight version, but it gives you a super solid, feel to it. It's pretty much a fixed stock that you can adjust as far as the feel goes. It's got the Noveski handguard on it. It's key mod. This is back before L-Lock was a standard, but I'm not going to change it out just because of that. It's got a Noveski 18-inch stainless steel barrel with their Noveski's gas block on it that you can change it from suppressor to no suppressor to actually single shot. You can turn it completely off. I've got a Radian charging handle in there. It's got a Surefire muzzle device, and then if you take off that suppressor, the muzzle device on it is just a 3-prong, but it's running a Surefire SOCOM 5.56. It's got the newest version of the Streamlight. It's a Streamlight HTX Pro, I believe. Yep. It's their higher lumen, higher candela weapon mounted light. And then the scope on it, I believe, is the Vortec PST 4-16. It's either PST or the HST, I can't remember. But it's an old scope. It's not the best, but it still works for what we're doing. Everything's sitting in a ADM, American Defense
throw mount
manufacturer, quick detach mount. Yeah. The bipod sitting up front is probably overkill for this gun. I actually bought it for the Scar, but I wanted to keep the weight down on the Scar, so it switched over to this. But this is an Atlas bipod with the quick detach throw lever on it. Super sturdy, super nice bipod. If you guys know anything about bipods, they are some of the best, if not the best. This gun is crazy accurate, especially with 77 grain Black Hills or Federal Gold Medal match. I personally have used this rifle to engage a regular human-sized silhouette out to 700 meters. which you guys will see in either the B-roll, or we might not get to it today, do an actual accuracy group testing. But this gun is super accurate. I mean, I've gotten as low as quarter MOA out of it. Generally, it's half MOA gun. So that's a group at 100 meters that is, or 100 yards that is touching. So yeah, I mean, it's a great gun. It shoots well, and it fills the role that that I kind of want it for. So is there anything you want to add to the theory behind this, or the?
Well, just kind of, going off what he said. This is his rifle, and it is his build, and by no means are we over here saying this is the only way to build this gun.
Nope.
This is you need this, you need that, you need that, you need this, whatever. No, this is what he wanted, how he wanted to build, and it fits his role of what he wanted. Obviously, too, going on with your grouping and your MOAs and everything else, ammo dependent, 100%. You never know. You might not get a Noveski. You might get, I don't know, you might get a different barrel that you want to put in it, and it may not like 77 grain. It may like 75. It may like 68. You know what I mean? They're like, obviously that's all dependent on not even just that, but you as a shooter as well. But just this.
Well, and also I was going to say too, just while you're talking about that, this rifle was built during the whole. This rifle was built during the whole craze of like short-barreled rifles.
Yeah.
So I built this back in 2014, so 12 years ago. Anyways,
and it still holds up today, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing,
without a doubt. I
Yeah.
mean, that was kind of the beginning of getting into the new modern, getting away from quad rails. Worrying about weight a little bit more, that kind of thing. But me saying there wasn't a whole lot of options for an 18-inch accuratized battle rifle or battle carbine out at that time. So today, in modern day, if you want something like this, go buy a Daniel Defense Mark 12.
Yeah.
It's not accurate by any means to the actual original Mark 12 Mod 1s or Mod 0s, but it's for an out-of-the-box gun. They're super accurate. They have Geisley triggers in them. Phenomenal gun. I think they're around $2,000. You'd definitely be saving money than doing what I did.
Oh yeah, then actually piecing it and partnering it together. Yeah. And two,
factory warranty.
Yep. I was just gonna
Daniel
say
Defense's name behind it.
You kind of have that. That peace of mind too, like you said. The Daniel Defense, the name behind it, the warranty, the whatever else, and
you don't have to worry about some idiot putting it together.
Well, I was gonna say that, but not to that extent. But yeah, you may have a buddy put it together, or you might put it together yourself, and you may over torque some, under torque some. You know what I mean? There's a lot of nuances that really go into building a rifle, and I think that's why a lot of people, I myself to an extent, kind of shy away from it, because it's not easy.
No,
you know what I mean.
You gotta have a lot of specialized tools.
Yeah, exactly.
To do it properly. I'm not saying you can't just throw it together with some hand tools you got laying around, but to actually properly be able to torque things down to the right specs and everything, it does
to get the most reliability and the most out of the gun in general. You're really gonna have to unfortunately, you might have to read some stuff.
Yeah.
You might have to look into how, what's the inch pounds on this, what's the inch pounds on that. Does this go with that? Does that go with this? Whatever else. And just kind of, to touch on the rifle itself, I know we kind of went over what an SPR was, and, we kind of went into the build, but and kind of what he was going back to in the beginning a little bit, you were saying a suppressive fire kind of thing, something like that or whatever.
Overwatch.
An Overwatch. You'll be able to put more accurate suppressive fire down if, God forbid, something ever happens, or just even in more of a military type, aspect or whatever else. But, just more so a civilian take too. I've shot this gun quite a bit. Someone who would like to think as themselves as a decent shooter.
Yeah.
This gun
makes you a really good shooter.
You could probably put your girlfriend or your wife or your friend or your boy, whatever it is, you could put someone who doesn't even really shoot a crazy amount or even at all. You put them behind this thing. I mean, this might be a type of gun that makes them,
want
to shoot or fall in love with shooting. It
shoots super soft. It's a little bit of a heavier rifle.
Yep.
So it does shoot very soft.
It mitigates a lot of the recoil too, especially with you having an upgrade
buffer.
Yep, buffer system in it. But yeah, I mean, so like you said too, with hunting capabilities and stuff too. Obviously, I mean, there are people out there who will drop thousands and thousands of dollars for a hunting rifle or things of that nature. But having something like this that is kind of like what we said, jack of all trades, master of one kind of thing, You can use this for multiple different applications, but this does have a designated role.
It found a place in my arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a collector. I don't just collect guns because I think they're cool. I have to, in my head, be able to actually justify owning that gun and what role it fills. And this fills a very specific role of a long-range AR-15. And when I say long-range, like I said, 700 meters, I've engaged targets accurately. We have pushed it out to 1,000 meters before in the past when I first built it. And I'm not sure the group size because we're just shooting at a steel target. But to just give you an idea, 30 out of 30 rounds were hit once we got it on. Once we found the dope and everything. Then that I would say is about the maximum range for a 5.56 is 1,000 meters. It's 1,000 yards. Correction. No, it's just it's just one of those where it's a very cool rifle. It's a niche rifle, and it fills a role for us, especially where we live in the state of Ohio. If you get more west into our state, northwest, you get into a lot of areas that are super flat, have long, a lot of cornfields, a lot of flyover country. We don't live in that part of the state. We live in the part of the state that has tons of hills, has very limited amount of distance you can shoot. So this rifle really is a great rifle for our kind of terrain, for an East Coast kind of suburban, rural kind of rifle. This rifle shines at 500 meters. I mean, 500 meters, you get her dialed in as far as with the right dope or the right hold. And I mean, it's, you can double tap at that distance.
Yeah. And to just kind of going over this compared to a GPR.
Yeah.
Which we have done a video on the GPR coming up on a year now.
Yeah.
It's, obviously they both have their places. And, and I'm not saying people do, but, sometimes there could be people that get a GPR and an SPR confused, or they don't know the difference or something like that. So that's kind of where we come in.
I say the GPR is more of a general purpose rifle. Hence the name. But it's kind of for everybody. It doesn't. So with a GPR, like especially with the way we've got ours set up, I could take my rifle that's a GPR and I could hand it to my wife, who's not a shooter. She knows how to shoot, but she's not a shooter, and say, "Hey, honey, at 100 yards, put that triangle directly on the target, pull the trigger. At 300 yards, put that target directly on the chest. You're going to be hitting a little bit low." But it gives you that ability to kind of take the dope and the holds and everything out of it, where this, you have to have a little bit more training on it. You have to know the rifle a little bit more. So like, if I gave this rifle to Logan, him being a shooter, I'd be like, "Hey, this rifle's 0 to 100 meters. Here's my dope book."
Oh no.
I'd be able to give him my dope book, be like, "Hey man, use the actual reticle in there to measure the target, figure out distance, or use your rangefinder, dope for that range, engage." So it is a little bit more of like a specialized style gun, and special purpose.
Special purpose rifle.
So yeah, GPR, kind of more of an everyday infantry style rifle. You give it to anybody, and it doesn't take a whole lot of skill to be really good with it. This takes a little bit more skill, but you are able to reach out to a much further distance, and you are able to get engagement at further distance. You're able to get PID with a higher magnification scope, all of that stuff. So without getting too long-winded, you guys will see some of the B-roll shooting of this. If you've noticed in the few of the shorts that have been put out before this, we did some shooting with it in the past couple weeks. Just kind of got it out of retirement, and been shooting it a little
knocking the old dust off of it. We just kind of wanted to go over this rifle too. For one, he has put time, money, and effort into this too, and this is a phenomenal rifle for what it is and for what his build is. We kind of wanted to give it a little limelight. We kind of wanted to give it a little spotlight, little shine on the rifle itself. But in closing, we do hope you enjoyed this video. It is a little bit more of a niche-ish type, video or whatever else. But we also want to give a huge shout out to, all of our sponsors, like we said in the beginning of the video. If you guys are interested in anything that we talked about in the video, whether it be, caffeine, targets, safes, lights, lube, everything is going to be down in the description. Everything is down in the description, the links and the codes that you need to use. It really helps us out, especially being a smaller channel. We get a little bit of a kickback and stuff, so it really helps us produce more content for you guys. Going on with that, producing content with you guys. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything that you want to see, any video ideas, hey, what about this, or hey, this just came out, or hey, what do you think about this compared to this? Like, drop it down in the comments. Really get them comments going. We're trying to, don't sound cliche, but we're trying to build, a community around here, like, a little bit of a family. Like, we want to be able to engage with you guys, or see you guys, or see your guys' YouTube names pop up, like, oh, we know that guy, or oh, he's commented all the time, or whatever else. But if you guys do have any questions, concerns, comments, video ideas, whatever, go ahead and drop it down in the comments and let us know. Like really, like that will help us a lot. Like I said, we got content for days, but it's also nice kind of getting to pick your guys' brain and see what you guys want to specifically see or what ideas that you guys might think. Make sure you do hit that like, comment, subscribe so you know every time we drop a video or a short or anything in between. And as always,
We'll see you guys next time with your daily dose of R&R.
We'll see you guys.